All right, cool. That's a hell of a cool song. And yes, it is the weekend around the corner, but it's not the reason why we chose that song. It's in fact it is Grafito, his favorite song. So you'll see starting to see a pattern here. So every time we lead up to the AMA, we play a song, and it's typically the artist's favorite song or their song of the moment. We're just going to give some time here. Okay, we go.
Well,
Okay, hold on one second. How do I pronounce it? Venkatesh, is that correct?
yes,
Can you hear me all right?
yes, I can hear you.
Okay,
Hello,
cool.
Phil.
It's a little bit muffled on your side. If you can maybe turn it up or maybe get closer to the mic.
Is it clear now?
Yeah, it is. It's louder. Let's give it a go. So, thank you so much for making time. I know that it's late where you are in the world, and that's why we're having the AMA this week a little bit earlier than we usually have. But that's awesome. Um, for the wider audience at large, we have got a very talented young NFT artist who started minting on our platform a couple months back. And has got an incredible amount of talent, and I'm very excited about his work for many particular reasons. I think it's damn cool. You're known to the wider audience as Grafito.Visuals. Your work is being currently minted on SpaceSeven, and you have got a very, very cool, unique style. And it's really all about you. So I am going to hand it over to you. Let's do a short intro to yourself, and then we can just take it from there. And just a general reminder, guys, please, if you've got any questions, drop them in the general chat text group, and then we will open it up to the forum at the end. Okay, so let's hand it over to you, Venkatesh.
Thank you for that, Phil. It does feel really great to hear about myself from another person. So, making a small introduction about myself, I'm Venkatesh from India, a 20-year-old part-time digital artist. So, first off, I need to thank this pandemic because it is the one which helped me to bring that digital artist inside me. Because before I only used to make some paintings, photographs, but when this pandemic started, uh, there was a lockdown around the world, so I had to be in my house. So
Yeah.
I got a rare chance to make photography and stuff over this. So I thought of why not trying something new this time.
Yeah.
So that's how my journey of digital art has started. My first digital art was made in Photoshop. So back in those days, I used to make the Photoshop manipulation artworks. If you look at that down in my Instagram profile, you can find all my artworks made in the Photoshop.
Yeah.
So the main con behind making the manipulation artwork is that it's very hard to find the images we needed in the right perspective, and the lighting issues were the most common things while making manipulation artworks. So I thought, why not we make artworks from create the assets for ourselves. So that's how my journey in 3D had started.
Mm.
And so when searching for the 3D softwares, I went to the Blender as the best option for me to start with, as it's a free software and there are tons of resources to start with.
Yeah.
If you're any Blender artist over here, you might have known about the donor tutorial by Andrew Price, Blender Guru. So that's how my initial journey in Blender started. And then I joined the tutorials of Ducky 3D, Netam. So that's how I learned my basic works and all. After that, it's just how the journey started. Daily
Yeah.
artworks, inspiration from my fellow artist, and the journey is going on now. So
Yeah.
just to yeah.
Yeah, no,
So
I mean, simply amazing. I like it's so inspiring to hear that. Like, I didn't know you were 20. You're obviously 20 years old when we first started talking. I think we first started talking on Instagram a while back.
mm, yeah.
And it's so inspiring to hear someone as young as yourself, but as talented. And it seems like you've kind of got a lot of it figured out. and a true example of, I think, this new wonderful world of NFTs. And you're right, it was kind of thrust upon the world, seeking out new sources or new types of jobs. So the pandemic definitely did speed up the adoption of NFTs and the adoption in broader terms of digital. But I think it's just extremely inspiring, and it's quite reassuring to hear a young man like yourself talk about it in a very rational, cool, calm, collected way, and you've really given it a lot of thought. Do you think that, I mean, say like hypothetically, the world returns to normal tomorrow, and then people have to go out and find jobs? Do you think that's going to be the case in your life, or have you found a calling, a sustainable calling at least? And are you willing now to completely lose yourself in this really rapidly evolving environment called NFTs?
I just wish that the world becomes as normal as before the pandemic, but I feel it will be not like how it was before. And
Yeah.
I do feel that
Where are you based
yeah,
in India?
I'm from Andhra Pradesh. If you can see, south of India.
South of India. Okay, cool. I mean, I think it is going to be a global challenge. I think things are kind of like turning more positively these days. But like, are you seeing NFT now art as your future? This is your career, and you've chosen it, and you're really going to hone in on your skills.
I have to say that the NFTs have become like a biggest boon for every digital artist over there. Because before NFTs, we hardly got any source of income or anything from this as the source of income. But as the NFT market started to rise, we actually got the value for the art and hard work. I have to say,
Yeah,
but what can I say is that the NFTs are still like in the beta stage. I have to say, because people are still not have started to accept it. Because if you can see some in posts in some posts in Instagram, like a CryptoPunk art sold for thousands of dollars, and board ape board ape yacht club NFT got sold for thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. All I read in the
mm,
comments is that money laundering has entered the chat. They're
yeah,
using illegal
yeah.
money for doing this. So
It's a big problem. Mm,
mm, they're not being still clear about the NFTs, and without getting a proper education about this, they're what no what the common people have in their mind is NFTs are like a overnight gamble. You just go and buy something and resell it for $1 million, flip it for $1 million, and you're an overnight millionaire. So that's not the way you should look at the NFTs. I would say it's more
yeah,
about an experience. What you need to see. You need to build a community. You need to build a profile for yourself.
yeah,
That's the more. I would say that's more important than making money out of it. Because if you only come to this into this field for making money, I would say you'll be left behind with nothing but uh, no nothing really.
yeah.
You will so,
Yeah, no, 100%. I think yeah, I was part of I joined a very interesting discussion on Twitter earlier on today, and a lot the common threads, the sort of the topic, the key topics they were addressing was the issue of fraud and what they were calling them derivative projects, carbon copies of other more popular projects. They were also honing on the importance of community, the importance of industry upliftment through support, and I think you're 100% right. Just in terms of the community, like how have you managed to establish a following and a community base around your work? What are some of the tactics that you're deploying that seem to be working for you?
regular engagement in these kind of discussions, and I do interact with my fellow artists very regularly. I had to say that this community is the most supporting one you'll ever find. Like whenever you make
Yes,
the art, post it. They're ready to share about it, share their views about it. So you slowly you build an artist shares about your artwork, and another artist sees that he follows you, and you follow them. So in this like this happens like a chain, and the community spreads like this. And
yeah.
more what
Thank you. Yeah, no, that's the I mean our key really our key mantra or mandate really from the onset was really about that human touch behind everything that we're trying to build. And of course that comes from a community orientation point of view, but very much we want to we want to create a place where it's a healthy and positive environment and a place for people to share not only their creativity but their thoughts and ideas, and a place that they can feel comfortable in having a voice to be heard. But very, very importantly, is also about sales. At the end of the day, I mean, a marketplace is only as healthy as a fine balance between buyers and sellers. And I think I'm going to use this as a segue. There's been an interesting question on the general chat, just in terms of sales. In general senses like OpenSea and Known Origin, a lot of these marketplaces are they've got the volumes, but they don't necessarily have the sales. Or artists go off to these other platforms. They list because they think it's going to be, obviously the amount of traffic or the I suppose the site volume is something that is attractive for anyone trying to tap into a wider audience. Do you think that a larger audience or a smaller audience would drive your sort of sales agenda now?
What having the audience doesn't matter right now. The people who know completely about the NFTs, whether it can be a smaller amount of audience, larger amount of audience, or just a limited number of audience who have the complete knowledge about NFTs is what matters. Because I want to also share an experience about this particular topic. Because when all the NFT promoting pages, when they post that sale has just happened, but let's take an example of CryptoPunk. Some CryptoPunk hashtag 116 has just made a sales for thousands of dollars. What I look in the comments is that, oh no, I have taken a screenshot now that NFT belongs to my. This actually sounds as stupid as you might have probably heard about the Mona Lisa painting, right?
Yeah.
Hello. Yeah. Okay, so now you go to the museum and take a picture of it, and now you can come to your home and print it and just keep it and say, "Now I own the Mona Lisa painting." How does that? How stupid that sounds like. The same thing. The same thing happens with the NFTs. Once you upload it in the blockchain, it's an exclusive. That's what it's meant for. Non-fungible token. It's an exclusive, unique one. So
Yeah.
whether you screenshot it, whether you print it 1,000 times, million times, everybody has it. Still the unique. What the original one has its own value.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're 100% right. I mean, I often use the Mona Lisa as an example when I try to explain what an NFT or the value of an NFT is, right? And I think it's probably the easiest example to use because everyone knows what that work is. Not only that, is everyone's got kind of like an idea of what the actual Mona Lisa value is. But I also use a funny argument that, I mean, I've been to the Louvre in Paris, and because of the security and obviously exposure to light and all that kind of stuff, they often rotate the Mona Lisa with other, obviously replicas. So I use this as a psychological kind of benchmark, and I say, so you've been to the Louvre and you've seen the Mona Lisa, but can you guarantee that that is the original Mona Lisa and wasn't just on rotation with a replica? And people kind of look at me and go, well, it doesn't matter. And I go, it does. It's exactly that. So and it is what matters. It's the proof of ownership. So like the Louvre can prove that they own the original, right? And I think that's exactly what the NFT or smart contract is intended for, is to prove that ownership. And I said this, I think it was in our last AMA, or I said this on an interview. I'm on many different discussions every week. So, but it does resonate that I do believe that human beings are honest and they will support artwork or creativity because they do want to see that, they do want to see a sustainable delivery of that product or service. And I think that's going to be the same case, especially with your work. You've got a very unique style, although you do tap into a very particular genre that I'm quite a fan of. One of your favorite artists is, in fact, one of my favorite artists, Baron Sarper. And I've been following him for probably 2 years now. And his work is just getting better and better. And his community is growing, larger and larger. And he's very consistent to a style and tone. And I think you are definitely on the same path as that, to be honest. I like, when I first came across your work and I saw the Julius Caesar work, and I was like, yeah, this is hot. This is awesome. And you are, I mean, 20 years old is mind blowing. I mean, come on, dude. You've got an incredible career in front of you. What are you going to do with all that?
I have to really thank you for so many kind words for that. Speaking about the Baron Sapper, you might have known recently his artwork, Spartan, was featured on the Billboard. So that was
Yeah.
that say one of the biggest achievement as an artist. Like not only just Baron Sapper, but the entire artist community feels proud about it. It motivates each and every artist to work harder, and one day maybe your artwork also might get featured on the Billboard. Like uh, how good it does feel like.
Yeah, it's cool, right? I know. So just a little bit of a heads up. We're going to be at a very cool event next week, and we're going to be getting our branding and logos on NFT fashion, which is going to be quite exciting for everyone to see next week. But you're 100% right in the same sense. When you start seeing your work being published in, offline forums or display or whatever, that, I mean, that really does mean that you're kind of getting noticed, and it's exciting for an artist because that acknowledgement obviously provides you with greater exposure
Like
and the ability to grow.
like achievement.
Yeah, it is. So what we're doing also, just from a general sort of SpaceSeven perspective, is we're looking at offline partners to have a better option to showcase your work. And it's going to include offline digital compo or formats, and it's also hopefully going to include, sort of the more traditional formats. And I think this is something that we're going to be pretty excited about to roll out at some stage. But I'm glad that you're on this rocket ship that has launched relatively recently, and we are slowly getting there and growing. But I think, just in terms of our engagement, it's awesome because we're kind of starting at the same time, and we will ensure as we grow, we will never lose that form of contact. And I hope that you see value, and I hope you see many riches and successes on SpaceSeven, because obviously it's an open market and you can go anywhere you want. And I don't want that to be the case. I want you to find a home in SpaceSeven, and and really grow with us as we take each other's platforms and brands to obviously exciting levels. So I want to talk a little bit more about you. Like, how often do you get to work? What is your publisher or your creation frequency look like? How do you focus in on certain projects? Where do you draw inspiration from? And where do you see your work going forward?
When it comes to the word inspiration, it's not like from a single source. Like you're going walking on a road, you see a beautiful scenery, you get inspired from that, or you see an artwork made by an artist. I have to say that the most of my inspiration comes from my artist community. So if I want to make a landscape artwork, I'm stuck at how should the lighting should be, how the composition should be. So when I'm scrolling through the Instagram, some of the other artists will be posting very much similar to that. So I get an idea, okay, this kind of lighting does feel better for me. So this kind of composition does feel better. So I take that single piece of ingredient and use this in my artwork. And not only just artworks, if you were to say, in many sources, like you're writing, you're on a evening walk, you're going on a street, you look at a beautiful sunset. Oh yeah, this is so beautiful. So you take a picture of that, take it as a reference, and use this as the next composition, as the next
Yeah.
reference for your composition. The inspiration comes from various sources. In fact, sometimes only my imagination was being a biggest inspiration. But what keeps
Yeah.
me inspired is that, like, there are so many times, because lighting a 3D artwork isn't a easy thing, because most of the time I got failed and demotivated. I felt like leaving this field and just go on with my usual work. But whenever I have that thought, I just open my Instagram and see an artist making a masterpiece of art, and I get motivated again and I start it again. So it's the same thing going on to me. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's beautiful. Like, okay, so you draw a lot of inspiration from your surroundings. How closely do you talk or keep in contact with other artists? And do you guys share ideas And like, do you have a little sort of like artist community that you guys chat on a regular basis?
Very, very regularly. I said you before, this artist community is the best supporting ever. I regularly chat with them. I regularly text with them. No, not only about the art or inspiration. We talk about the life, the goals, everything that we have to say. And
Yeah. And let me ask you this: would you ever change formats? Like, would you evolve your work into, say, like a gaming, like, or more like a gaming orientated design and use case?
no, I'm currently learning a software called Unreal Engine, which is meant
Yeah,
for making.
yeah,
Like you might have seen some AAA title games in the Unreal, were made in Unreal Engine. So I'm thinking of making a game with that, but for that we need to learn softwares like Python and C++. I'm currently learning that and building that. It might take some time, like maybe a year or two, but I'm in plans of that.
that's brilliant. Yeah, I mean, you're also, I think, Icosphere and yourself are pretty close, right?
Yeah, he's a really good friend of mine, I have to say. Also, my
Yeah,
biggest supporter. He's the one who
yeah,
introduced me to this community.
yeah, he's great. He's fantastic, really. But some of his work I can really picture as being ideal gaming settings. Like different levels or background drops and stuff. So I think it would be exciting to see where you guys head in that direction, because I think we know that, like, the internet is headed towards the metaverse, and your work is going to be available in the metaverse in some form or another. And a large portion of that activity is going to come from the NFT gaming side of things. So it's going to be very cool to see how art and gaming interacts at some point. So if you're already thinking along those lines, then kudos to you. You're definitely forward thinking. And again, I have to say, hats off to a young man, 20-year-old, and you're already thinking about all of this stuff. I got to say, you've got a very bright career in front of you. So I'm excited. You chosen SpaceSeven, and I will work very hard in keeping you, highly active and engaged with our community as it grows. Do you? I mean, would you like to share anything else? We obviously taking a recording of this, and we'll share it with everyone as we did with Maria last week. This is your chance to kind of like tell us a little bit more about you and maybe some work, or what are some of your things that you're looking forward to do, and we will make it happen. One feature that we are excited to launch in the next couple, it'll probably be a week or so, is we're going to have a very cool new homepage with a drop section where we're going to highlight collections, and we're going to do very specific drops for artists. And I've pegged you as part of that program. And we'll look at what that looks like in terms of promotion. But here's your loudspeaker. Is there anything else you want to tell or showcase for the community at large?
Well, I have to really thank you for giving me this opportunity. And I have to say this, the SpaceSeven community is the only one which is more interactive with the artist and coming with a very unique ideas with as the day passes on. Now, speaking about the metaverse, I have to say that it's still in an alpha stage, or maybe I will compare it with like a fetus stage. So they are still experimenting more stuff upon that, and what the most of the posts we see that they are low in graphics, the CG, right? So people keep commenting upon that. What kind of graphics is this? My my Windows piece, my Windows XP PC runs a better graphics than this. So I have to say that the metaverse is still in its alpha stage. So I think as the time goes on, the lighting, the graphics, everything might change as the time goes on. But we need to wait for that. I will definitely want to be a part of this metaverse, and more of that. I have this small dream that all my artists in this community, they are from different parts of the world. So if you want to conduct an expo or a summit like this, I don't think so. It's possible to conduct offline because first thing we have COVID pandemic, and as the time goes on, we cannot predict that the world might see what kind of stuff we can. And secondly, uh, each of the artists are from different places of the world, and meeting everyone coming and meeting at this one place might get tough. It might be a impossible situation. So creating a platform in the metaverse so that each and every artist of this community might meet in like a summit and expo, talk to each other, share about our thought discussions. So it does feel like a real environment for me. That's my only goal when it comes to metaverse.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're right. I'm hoping that we find a balance between the two, and we do kind of return to normal means of movement. But I do think that there will always be, there will always be concern for the rest of our lives, and the metaverse obviously justifies or reinforces a certain movement behavior. I think it's great to have you as part of the SpaceSeven, artist creator community. I look forward to more work being, minted on the platform. We are, of course, at your disposal at any time that you have questions or feedback. You're going to be a key contributor to all of this. So yeah, I think it's been awesome talking to you, Venkatesh, and I'm very excited about your career, and I'm also once again, I'm thrilled that you're on SpaceSeven, because I think a combination of the two is going to be very, very cool and unique. So on that note, I know it's late for you on your side also, and I want to thank you so much for your time. And guys, what we will do, obviously, we will distribute this recording to everyone, because I think a lot of people are still at work, which is all good. That's fine. But we will also share all of the relevant social media links, and you can take a look at it. And yeah, we'll obviously give you links to where your work is available on SpaceSeven. So yeah, thanks a lot for joining us. And is there anything else you would like to close off on?
That's it. I have to say that's it. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Phil. I don't know. Phil is your actual name, or you have a full name for it?
Sorry, say that again.
No, your username shows me as Phil's. That's your actual name, or you have a full name?
Yeah, no. My full name is Philip.
Oh yeah, Philip. Okay, I'm very much used to that name.
Yeah, no, all good. No, my full name is Philip, and you can find me on all mediums. I'm highly active, obviously, on all the communities, and we're looking to grow our teams also. So, yeah, it's exciting times to be part of SpaceSeven. All right, dude, thank you so much for your time. A true inspiration to the up and coming, and even the OGs in the room. I think the young talent that is out there is just an amazing example of not only the creative spirit, but also the entrepreneurial spirit. And you are a combination of both of those. So awesome stuff. Thank you so much. Cool. And on that note, guys, have a great evening. And we will see you Thursday. I'll probably be at 7:00 CET, but we'll see you next week, Thursday, with another artist spotlight and showcase in AMA. And on that note, thank you very much, guys. Have an awesome evening. C'est la vie. Cheers, guys. Bye.
Bye.